Big thanks to every brave soul who's joined Grimnest. If you love chilling tales, hit subscribe and become part of the darkness before it finds you. Emily's dad, a quiet, stiff man who barely spoke more than necessary, had told her on the very first day they arrived at the house, "Don't answer the basement door, no matter what you hear, no matter what it says." She had blinked at him, thinking he was joking, but his eyes, dark and hollow since the divorce, held not even a glimmer of amusement. There was something about the house. It was one of those old two-stories common in small-town Ohio, painted white with flaking shutters and a yard strangled by weeds. The air inside smelled stale, like something had been sealed shut for a long, long time. Emily thought the basement door was weird from the beginning. Unlike most doors, it didn't sit flush with the frame. It had 3 deadbolts, each one new and polished, in contrast to the decaying wood. Her dad didn't even store anything down there. He kept all tools and boxes in the garage. "Why can't I open it?" she had asked. "Because it's not safe," was all he said. The first night she heard it. A soft knock. Deliberate. Slow. Knock. Knock. It came just after 2 a.m., when the wind outside had died and the house had fallen into an uneasy silence. Emily sat up in bed. The knock came again. Then silence. She crept into the hallway and peered down the staircase. The living room was dark. The shadows stretched long under the faint glow of a streetlight leaking through the blinds. She held her breath. Knock. It was unmistakably from the basement. The next morning, she asked her dad if maybe he'd dropped something or gone down at night. "I told you not to talk about it," he said, never looking up from his coffee. "Ignore it." He was more agitated than usual, his fingers drumming against the kitchen table. A thin layer of sweat glistened on his forehead, despite the chill outside. That night, she left her phone recording and placed it near the basement door. The knock didn't come until after 3 a.m., but this time there was a voice, low, raspy, and impossibly familiar. "Emily, I know you hear me." She froze listening to the playback the next morning. The voice sounded like her own, only warped, like it had been chewed through static. Over the next week, it got worse. The knocks became more frequent, louder. Sometimes she'd hear footsteps pacing behind the door. Other times, sobbing. Once, a voice that sounded like her dad. Only he was asleep in the next room. "Please let me out. I'm still down here." Emily stopped sleeping. Shadows under her eyes darkened. Her dad seemed to unravel just as fast, locking himself in his room every night. He started taking sleeping pills during the day. His face looked grayer, sicker. "Dad," she said one morning, "what's really down there?" He only shook his head. "I made a mistake years ago, and I locked it away." On the 8th night, the voice behind the door changed. It no longer begged, threatened. "Open the door, Emily. You know you want to. You're just like me." She screamed at it, told it to shut up, and it laughed. A garbled, glitchy sound that echoed through the walls and made her ears ring. She called her mom in desperation, but the signal kept cutting out. All she got through was, "There's something in the basement," before the call dropped. The next night, something new happened. While she was brushing her teeth, she glanced in the mirror and froze. Her reflection didn't move. It just stood there, staring. Then it smiled and whispered, without moving its lips, "You're not up there. You're down here. Let me out." Emily backed away, heart pounding. She didn't sleep at all that night. She could hear her reflection speaking softly from the mirror, even with her back turned. By morning, she was barely holding on. Her dad had completely shut down, unresponsive, sitting at the table staring into space. "I think it's pretending to be me," she said. Finally, he looked up, and his eyes weren't normal. Black, reflective, empty. And the thing that used to be her father whispered, "I told you not to answer it." Then he collapsed. She called 911. They took him to the hospital. She was alone now. That night, the knocking started earlier, a steady rhythm that shook the floorboards. Knock, 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 then a sound that made her blood run cold. The first bolt unlocking. Click. She raced downstairs. The door looked the same, but the top bolt had somehow come undone. She ran to it, checked the locks, two still in place. She tried to reinforce it with a chair, duct tape, whatever she could find. She screamed at the door, "Stop it! Leave me alone!" And it replied, "You're not scared of me, Emily. You're scared of what you'll become." That was the night she realized the voice wasn't trying to get out. It was trying to replace her. The next day, she researched the property. The house had belonged to a woman named Lisa Yarrow. Her daughter had gone missing in 1997. No trace ever found. The photos made her stomach twist. Lisa's daughter looked exactly like her. Same eyes, same face, same age, except she'd vanished. Never seen again. Emily decided to leave, packed a bag, called her aunt, booked a bus ticket. She just had to make it one more night. She barricaded her room, pushed the dresser against the door, kept the lamp on. But just after midnight, the power went out. And then she heard it again. Knock, knock. But this time, it wasn't from the basement. It was at her bedroom door. "Emily," the voice whispered, soft and lilting. "I'm already out." The doorknob turned slowly. She backed into the corner, heart beating so hard it hurt. She clutched her phone, shaking hands trying to call someone. Anyone. Then silence. No more knocking. The handle stopped. After minutes of frozen fear, she crept toward the door, looked through the keyhole, and saw her own eyes staring back at her. They never found Emily when they arrived the next morning. The house was empty. Her dad was in a coma at the hospital. But in the basement, police found claw marks on the inside of the door and a recording device. The last thing on the tape? Emily's voice, soft, almost playful. "It's okay now. I let myself in." More stories are waiting in the dark. If you want to hear them, you know what to do. Click subscribe before one of them comes looking for you.